On this week's episode, we're talking about a new site creation experience in SharePoint, browsing files for meetings in OneDrive, and stream preview and playback in Teams chat and in channels. And this week's episode is brought to you by CloudAlly.
Managed service provider. Your task, if you choose to accept it, is to protect all your customers' data from any kind of data loss indefinitely.
Come on, that's impossible.
Use CloudAlly.
What the?
CloudAlly protects all your customers' data, offers smart and secure recovery with an unlimited retention period. It also has a partner portal with everything you need.
That's amazing.
Take a look. There's a pay-as-you-go pricing and no commitment sign-up and actual people customer support.
Awesome.
CloudAlly protects your customers' SaaS data with secure cloud-to-cloud Amazon S3 backup with unlimited retention. Start your free 14-day trial and never face data loss again.
Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode of 365 Message Center Show. I think we're at 295, I believe. Daryl?
That's the one. Yep.
Welcome, everyone. How are you, Daryl?
Good. Start of another week here. I know that you're just finishing yours. I am looking forward to next week, heading off to the Digital Workplace Conference in Melbourne.
Oh, that'll be fun. Tell everyone I said hi. I would appreciate that. However, I will not be there. I will be on vacation. So, terribly sorry. But, maybe I would prefer to be in Melbourne. I don't know, though. I think vacation will be fun.
That'd be quite a vacation to travel to Melbourne.
I will do that. I promise I will do that at some point in my life. I definitely want to get to the land of the down under and see Australia as well as that little island you've got over there in New Zealand. Well, multiple islands, but anyway. Anyway, so let's make sure that you, everyone, all of our watchers and listeners are following us on the socials. We are on all of the socials that matter at 365 MCS. Make sure you tag us, hit us up, let us know what you think about the show. And while you're here, might as well go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on this video if you're watching on YouTube. And give us a rating on the audio platform if you're listening to the audio podcast. Daryl, do you think that's a good idea, right? That people do that?
Look, I'm the kind of person that doesn't give the tip or the rating for the Uber driver before they have delivered. So feel free to do that partway through the show. I'll just give you like a wink or a little thumbs up partway through when I think that Daniel has achieved the value proposition for the show. Then you can like.
Listen, let's just do it right off the bat then. Let's get going.
Okay. Righto then.
All right. So.
Wheels.
Yes, first up is Viva Suite app Viva Pulse enabling notifications. MC649478. Let's talk about what Viva Pulse is. This is that way to check in with the people in your group, in your reporting structure. Hey, how's it going? How am I doing as a manager? Get some feedback. It's kind of meant to be a short check-in, with your people. And it went GA. It went as part of last week's festivities. It went live, right? It became available for everyone that's using the Viva Suite. You can have Viva Pulse now and use it. The interesting thing is for this message, though, it says enabling notifications. So what this message is detailing is how do you enable notifications so that people actually know that you're asking them to reply to your poll. So unless your people are hanging out inside polls all the time, waiting for you to ask them, then they're not going to be notified at this point. Whether when you're wanting to, they're not going to get an email saying, "Hey, respond to this," unless you go through the steps that are detailed inside this message. So, Daryl, did you think that's what was happening? If you're doing a pulse, wouldn't people be getting emails, notification that hey, please respond?
Yeah, look, this is a baseline expectation I have of anything that gets brought into the Microsoft 365 suite, Viva suite, whatever. Everything sends a notification by email, whether we want them or not, really. Yeah. A lot of products do give you the option to turn it off. But to have it not even connected, the pipe's not even connected, is strange. Why do we have to go through this step?
I don't have an answer for you. For why. I can't defend this. I really don't know why. So this message does detail how you do this. So you're going to need to have admin rights to be able to run this. So this is administrator level. You're going to have to connect to the Azure AD tenant via PowerShell and run this command that it's detailing in this message. And then it says, hey, if you don't do this, then you're not going to get good pulses, check-ins. Well, that's true, because no one's going to know about it unless they go into Pulse themselves, and see that notification. So this is, normally we talk about when it's rolling out. It's not rolling out until you do this.
You're rolling it out.
That's right. So, if you're going to even try Pulse, like you're trying it out, then you're going to have to do this. I'm hoping in the future this will just be done for us, and this is kind of a stopgap measure, but, we'll see.
So many things I could say, Daniel. All about checking Pulse, dead on arrival.
Yeah, we'll save that for the subscription show, the behind the scenes show where our subscribers see even more whenever we actually launch that. If we ever do. So
that's right.
Yeah, moving right along, Daryl, talk to me about previewing videos in Teams.
Yeah, this is actually, I'm really happy to see this update. Microsoft Teams, stream preview and playback in Teams, chat and channels. MC6499917. Something that I've wanted to do for some time, Daniel. When I put a stream video into a chat or a channel conversation post, I want to be able to play that video while I am in that conversation. I don't want to have to go off to another site, go off to stream, go off to the news stream even. I mean, no offense, it's great, but I'd like to do this in line. Well, that's what we've been delivered here with this update. So this example, we'll bring this up on screen. See how big it is. Oh, it's good. We've got an example of a chat here, a group chat with the design squad, and Kaio has dropped in a link through to a stream video. So it's a recording or like a show reel of the Contoso conference during the AI week. And it looks like it is in progress. It is playing. It's not just a thumbnail, but it is playing, and you can see the chapters and the like there too. That, I think, is going to be quite good. I almost want to add it to a little list I'm compiling, Daniel, of things that we can do in the flow of work. Mm-hmm. It's, you don't have to go off to another thing, be distracted by other stuff. Right. It's right there as part of your experience in Teams.
Yeah. Be like, hey, take a look at this. Take a look at this video or this recording, or tell me what you think. Instead of having to pop out, you stay right there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. One step further than this would be to make it a shared experience where we play the video and everyone in the group chat sees it at the same time. But this is already a huge improvement. So this is rolling out late July. this week to be complete by late August. Yeah, I like it. It's a good thing. But Daniel, I want to ask you. I'm so tempted. I don't know if I can do this as part of the segue. You told me off when we were talking about this, and I want to sing a song to you, but I just don't know. I don't know if you appreciate it.
I appreciate everything you do, Daryl.
You appreciate it? Okay. Well, well, I won't create 1,000 channels, and I won't create 1,000 more, just to be the team's owner that creates 1,000 channels and falls down at your door.
That was great. I appreciate that. And I know our listeners and watchers do too. Microsoft Teams, 1,000 channels. Microsoft Teams, 1,000 channels per team. MC649926. Oh, you got me discombobulated. So currently, the limits on channels are you can create 200 standard channels and 200 shared channels in a team. Well, that's going to be now pooled. You're going to be able to create 1,000 channels with a mix of standard and shared, plus the 30 private channels that you can create. So it will be actually 1,000 channels of all of those, and it's going to be a lot of collaboration, because apparently it says that's why they're doing this. They want you to be able to collaborate even more. Honestly, I don't know. I would really like to understand. I'd like someone to walk me through the rationale for needing 1,000 channels in a team. I'm sure there's something, and I'm not knocking, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm in disbelief that there could be. There probably is, but wow, it's a lot of channels. And so it is, wow, 1,000. See, I'm just kind of like perplexed as to how do you find content? How do you how do you navigate 1,000 channels? How do you navigate Daniel? It? Yeah, I mean, you're not going to show them all, right? Right? Like, you can't show them all. So you're going to have to hide some, and then if you're hiding channels, do they exist at all? Yeah. I mean, they obviously do, but it's kind of like the tree falls in a forest and no one's right. So, anyway, wait, can we build on that? Someone drops a message in a channel in the forest of channels, and it doesn't make a sound. Does it mean that there really was a message there? Yeah, good luck having anyone ever see the message in the 942nd channel in the list, unless you tag them. Yeah. Right? They're not going to see it. I don't know. It just, there's got to be some use case that the reason why they're doing this. Or maybe they just said, hey, we can increase this. People have been asking for more than 200. Let's just make it 1,000. Okay. Why not? Why not? So I think there is a way to navigate this, though, Daniel, and it's not something that most people do. That when you click on your channel and teams list, you've got a filter at the top, and you can use that as a search. So it isn't just a filter, but you can also click and type the thing that you're looking for. And I don't think many people need to do that. Right. But if you have 1,000, that's how I would have to do it. Yeah, if you've got many, many hundreds, yes. Yeah, I think so. It's just a lot of clicks. But anyway, preview will be rolling out late July, so nowish. Expected to be completed in a week or two, I guess, early August. Standard and GCC mid-August through late August. GCC High and DoD will be mid-September through late September. So how will we know that this has arrived, Daniel? Do you think we should do a special episode, a bit like those ones where someone jumps on YouTube and live streams them creating a channel? I think we should. We should live stream us just creating channels ourselves. You creating them, I'm creating them, and we get to the limit
Yep.
and see. I think that
Let's
would be
do
great.
it. Let's
Yeah.
do it, man.
So
How fast can we do it between us?
speaking of browsing, let's talk about browsing files, but doing it by meetings.
Yeah, this is good. Browse files by meetings in OneDrive, MC649938. OneDrive. OneDrive is becoming, well, I've always thought of it ever since, I'll say it, Jeff Teeper. We were at MVP Summit way back when they were talking about the team reconstructing what OneDrive will be like and SharePoint will be like. And just something really stuck with me. He said that OneDrive is going to be like the new Files Explorer in the cloud. And that's how I've used it. And this is actually just adding another superpower to be able to use it as one place to go and see all your files, whether they're your personal files or your team files, and now whether they're files related to your meetings. So let's scroll on down and have a look at another funky little GIF. I wonder how big this is going to be on screen. We'll zoom in on that. But we have it sort of cycles through. We've got almost like a feed of content, and your meetings it is a feed called meetings, browse by meetings. You will see meetings that are coming up for the week. So that's what it will prioritize in the top of that feed to begin with. It wants to prepare you for meetings that you may be attending soon. And it's going to suggest files that you might want to read to prepare. So think of this, Daniel, where you might have a recurring meeting, or maybe it's a meeting where someone has attached or mentioned a file that you want to read to prepare for that meeting. It'll be there as part of this way of browsing files for meetings. Following that, you'll also see files that are related to your past meetings that you've held. And that includes recordings, because recordings are files, aren't they? Yeah?
Yes, I will confirm that they are files. I thought you were writing. Good job, Daniel. You brought
Validated.
value. Now is the time, people. Give the thumbs up there.
Yeah, let's pause for a moment.
Now,
Thumbs up.
Now is the time, people, for
Yep.
you to give us a thumbs up. We have brought you value. Videos are indeed files in SharePoint and OneDrive.
Excellent.
Yes.
Right, so of course, past meetings, you're going to see the recordings. And what we noticed too in this little cycle through is that some meetings might have multiple recordings, because it seems that a recurring meeting will be listed here, and it will show the recordings from each of the different meetings that might be in that meeting series. That's kind of cool. Files that might have been shared in chat, they'll be there too. So I think this is great. And if you break it down, and I'll just pause this in the post as well, just so we can have a closer look. But we've got the date, we've got a string of people that attended. I wonder if we can click on that and see who they are. We've got the files that are listed out there, and some of them that are kind of like thumbnails as well, so you can cycle through and have a look at that. As you drill down into one of those meeting times, you will see it's still following that OneDrive browse, filter, search kind of structure, where it's a table and it says show me all files, show me all PowerPoint, show me all Excel files. It's like it's zooming down into every file that might be related to that meeting. Looking forward to it. What do you think, Daniel?
Indeed, I'm looking forward to it as well. I don't use OneDrive like you were talking about, but maybe I should. Maybe everyone else should of using it as that personal, kind of like a M365 Explorer view, right? It's and so I think that'll be. This is interesting. I do find great value in Outlook showing me related files when I'm looking at a meeting. Right, so being here's some files you might want to read before going to this meeting, and that brings up a good point, Daryl. And I'm going to kind of derail this happy train here.
You make good points, Daniel. So I'm
good.
looking forward to it.
Well, we'll see if this one was one of them. I don't go to OneDrive to prepare for my meetings. I just don't. So, nor do I go. You know what? There was a file that was shared in the meeting yesterday. I need to go get it. It was in the Teams chat. Someone shared it. where do I go? I'm not going to go to OneDrive. I'm going to go to Teams and open up the meeting and look at, there's the file because it's in the chat. And
there's actually a files tab in the meeting too. So that brings them all together.
I just don't know. And we're talking about meetings here, right? And so that's the whole point of this. I don't go to OneDrive. So now, does that mean I need to change? Maybe. And that's fine. I can change. But I feel like I'd rather have a meetings view in Teams. That, not a calendar view, but like a meetings view that's basically this. That shows, okay, here's all the files and recordings from all your meetings. Why isn't it in Teams? Why is it in OneDrive? That's my only question here. But I think I'll start looking at OneDrive and see if I want to, spend some more time there and use it as my explorer.
I think it's a fair question to ask too about whether it should be in Teams or not. And we also see all kinds of feeds now,
Indeed.
wherever we are. So this is, I guess, another feed. It's not simply here's all your meetings that you attended and here are the files related to it. It's also feeding you content for meetings coming up.
Indeed.
So this is in preview, rolling out late July this week. Expected to complete late August, and standard release will see it rolling out late August. Expect completed early October. Let's stick in the OneDrive's /SharePoint space.
Okay.
And let's look at creation of sites.
All right. SharePoint. New site creation experience, MC650415. So there have been, I think, many updates to SharePoint. We're seeing a lot of things coming down the pipe that have been announced or talked about with SharePoint, with being more, giving more control, having more design capabilities, etc. So there's a lot of things happening in the SharePoint space. And this update today is about when you go and create a new site, Microsoft is going to show you, the site is going to show you a little bit more detail, some great detail, as well as they're doing some renaming and adding some features into these templates. So let's kind of dissect this a little bit and look at the images first. And when you go and say, hey, I'm going to create a new site experience, and this is for users and admins, okay? So this is if you're in the user experience and you're on a site and you say add, new site, or if you're on the admin side creating it, you're going to see not just a preview, which, previews are nice. Here's what the homepage will look like. But you're also going to get a list of the site capabilities, the types of resources that you're going to see there, and what's included. So that's kind of cool. So we're going to be able to see a little bit more detail on what is actually there and not have to just look at the site and go, oh, maybe it means that or maybe it means that. So we're going to see details on what we're getting with that one. And then we can also, it's not just previewing the homepage. We can also preview separate, those separate functionalities on that site that will be created. So that's kind of cool. So this is really nice, streamlined kind of, giving us information before we choose it, before we say, hey, that's exactly what we want. It gives us ability to skip that buyer's remorse, meaning, oh, we picked a template, we didn't like it. Now we're going to have to either recreate the site or apply another template on top. And we know that creates a little bit of a mess because when you do that, it doesn't delete stuff. It just adds stuff. And so then there's going to be lists and libraries there. Maybe you're not using anyway. So this is amazing. I love it. Giving us insights into what the page is going to look like and what functionality is there. Also in this update is the renaming for templates. Team collaboration is going to become standard team. Topic is going to become standard communication. Training and courses is going to be training courses. Aha, they're removing the and. Training and development team is going to become training design team. Okay, so that's a second thing. And then the third thing they're doing is actually they're going to add or update the content that several of the site templates are getting that have inside those templates. So the organization home, event, human resources, volunteer center, and crisis management, those are going to get new capabilities. So definitely check those out when this comes to your tenant. Which is, by the way...
And when is that, Daniel?
I'm getting there. Targeted release late July, so nowish. It is not currently in my test tenant, my demo tenant, but soon it will be, I'm sure. And then standard release will be rolling out mid-August, completed by early September. So rolling out to a site, to a tenant near you. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, indeed. That's what I say. So enough about SharePoint. SharePoint's amazing. I want to go back to OneDrive. Can we talk about OneDrive and recommending
But it's still
us?
SharePoint, Daniel.
Don't give the secret sauce away. Tell us a little bit more about OneDrive, Daryl.
All right. Whoa, hang on. Okay, yes, we are doing these in a slightly different order. We'll come back to that other one. OneDrive recommended files, MC653729. Okay, let me think about this. When you go to the office.com page or Microsoft365.com page, you're signed in, you see a little film strip along the top of recent files that you might have been working on. And that film strip contains suggested files. Now, there might be files that you've worked on recently as well with a thumbnail, or it might be something that a team member has been working on and you might be interested in this. It's related to work that you're currently sharing and collaborating on together. Well, we're going to see a similar kind of film strip or suggested files like that at the top of OneDrive. And so I've got this on screen. It is for you, so I see some suggestions here of Carlos, who has mentioned me in a Word document, so that's one type of thing that it might need to be highlighted or suggested to me. It's been mentioned, so maybe I should get in there and respond to that comment. Notice that that's actually something that we can do from this suggested card. It is a button. I can go straight to that document and to that comment. We've got a file that Robin is working on with me in PowerPoint, so I can open that. That's fine. There's a recording of a meeting, so we see that recurring theme with meetings, a suggested file. You might want to watch this recording, and that could be something useful. And there was another one there. Probably can't quite bring it on screen, but it looks like it was a
task.
Excel
Assigned you a
spreadsheet.
task.
Maybe that's just off the... Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a task there as well. Yeah, like if and this is more so in Word than in Excel. I don't think you can do tasks in Excel, can you?
At mentioned.
Comments?
So if you're given a comment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you get mentioned in a Word comment, and you got this box that says turn this into a task as well. So that's another scenario where it might be suggested to you. But as you go to that task, it'll take you through to what you need to do. So this will be part of that home page experience. When you go through to OneDrive, you'll see that along the top, and you'll get those suggested files as part of that. No doubt you'll see something like this in feeds in various places around Microsoft 365 as well. So this is targeted to be rolling out in late July, and a standard release. It will be beginning early August and completed late August. And Daniel, there was one other one that we wanted to cover, which I skimmed over. But you're pretty excited about it. I saw you trying this out on the socials.
I am ecstatic. Forms PowerPoint add-on to enable live survey experience. MC650417. And yes, I did give this a try. It's already in my demo tenant. It's a targeted release tenant. This is an improvement on how we can add forms to into PowerPoint, and think of it as a way to take a live survey while you're doing a presentation. You're going to be able to add an existing survey or a form, or you're going to be able to create a new one right in PowerPoint and click on the button. It opens up forms in your browser. You do your dance, and you create the content and save it. Save the settings the way you want to, and then when you're in PowerPoint, you get to see the live results from people answering your poll, your form, right? And so there's going to be a QR code there. They're automatically going to show that on the screen. People can scan it with their phones while they're watching, or they can go to, there's a URL, but I would suggest, as a person who's presenting, if you're doing this remote, meaning, not in front of a live audience, but remotely, maybe copy and paste that URL and put it in the chat in Teams, for instance, if that's the way you're using it. But you're going to see live results. The only kind of gotcha on this, and it's totally doable and you can work around it, is if you have multiple questions on the form, then you as the presenter have to navigate between those questions on the one slide. So, I think it's doable, but if you're in front of a whole room and you have a clicker, and you're going like advancing slides, then it might not be doable or very easy to make that happen. So maybe create separate forms for each slide, for instance. Have one question per, and it's a little rough, but I think that for right now that's the only way I could see. Maybe there's some options that I didn't see. So I'll continue investigating that. But I think this is really cool, Daryl. Giving presentations, you want feedback. You want others to see what other people are saying in the room, right? So I think it's a good thing.
So you can, you've got it in presentation mode, your slides up there on the projector, on the TV, whatever, display. This is displayed inside of one slide. You can advance through the questions like that. That's what you mean, hey? You can walk back over to your laptop and say,
yes, you can. They're right next to, right underneath the question, the result that's showing, there's navigation buttons. So you'll be able to go, if you have 4 or 5, different questions, in your, in the form, then you can navigate in between those. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just that, as you were saying, if you're used to using a clicker to navigate your slides from the other side of the stage,
right,
then it's unlikely you can click through the questions. Got it.
Yeah, indeed. It is. Now, there's some presenters, in fact, I have one that allows you to actually click on the screen, and so you can navigate. I think it's the Logitech Spotlight allows you to do that. But it is, it might be a little bit tricky, so, I think really I think what I'll do is I'll say, hey, I'm going to, either it's going to be a one question thing, or I'm going to, create multiple forms and put them in there. I'm hoping that in the future there'll be settings to say, create a slide per question. That would be kind of cool instead of just putting it on one slide. But for right now, I'm loving it because, frankly, I've had some really bad luck with other plugins for PowerPoint that does polls and surveys. I've just had some bad luck myself. I know other people have used them and it's worked well, but this is, I think this is pretty slick. So I'm really excited for it. It's going to be rolling out now. I already have it. Rolling out now through early August, so everybody should have it within the next, 2-3 weeks. I would assume.
Very good. Well, Daniel, that is the show. That's our messages in entirety. There was a lot more that was dropped in, and we, as we do, we go through and we evaluate what we should share with our audience. But if there's something that you felt that you have an opinion about from this last week's messages, or even some that are coming up, we do encourage you to reach out on the socials at 365MCS. That's on Twitter, X. What are we calling this thing now?
All the socials that matter. That's just say
all the socials that matter.
Yeah,
all the socials that matter. Wherever you get your podcasts, all the stuff.
All the stuff. Make sure you follow us, and remember to give it a thumbs up here on this video. We really appreciate that. Give us a share. Share out to somebody. Share the love so others can find us as well. We'd greatly appreciate it, and tag us so we can amplify you as well, our wonderful listeners and watchers. So thank you so much, everyone. And of course, thank you again to CloudAlly for sponsoring this week's episode. Until next week, we will see you.
Bye for now.